In the digital shadows, there exists a legend both horrifying and hidden. A single thread, a single click, can pull you into a realm of the macabre, where reality and nightmare blur. This is the story of DissectedChan images so graphic, they defy comprehension. More than a mere shock phenomenon, they trigger primal responses deep within our minds. What happens to our brain when faced with the grotesque? And why, despite every warning, do we return, drawn to stare into that void once more? Over the next 20 minutes, you'll learn the genesis of DissectedChan, the anatomy of its viral spread, the neuroscience of terror, and the lingering effects on those who dared to witness. By the end, you'll understand how one morbid image can leave an indelible imprint on your Psych 1 that may never truly fade. So prepare yourself. This isn't entertaining horror, it's a journey into the darkest corners of human fascination, where biology, technology, and taboo converge. Stay with me if you dare. Picture this, November 2007. A quiet corner of a Japanese image board, known for its stylized grotesque art. Into its routine stream of fan illustrations and surreal gore, a single user posts something unprecedented. Graphic photographs of a victim, her body dissected in a clinical setting, yet posed as if still alive. These images, labeled Eye and Mouth, were unlike any fictional artwork. They depicted flesh torn open, organs laid bare, a vacant gaze that stared straight into the camera, almost daring you to look away. The board's moderators, appalled, removed the thread in minutes. But the seed was sown. Within hours, archive savvy users mirrored the photos across 4chan's infamous Per B board. There, amidst memes and chaos, DissectedChan earned its name. Users debated authenticity. A real murder? A hidden autopsy room, or an elaborate hoax using cadaveric dolls. Every theory fueled obsession. And within days, investigators uncovered a chilling possibility. The metadata suggested these images weren't centuries-old relics, but captured mere hours before posting. A predator lurking behind the lens. A crime. Scenes stripped from the shadows into our collective view. The line between viewer and witness forever severed. How did such taboo content spread so swiftly? The answer lies in the very architecture of the modern internet. First, mirror sites. Automated bots scraped, cached, and reposted DissectedChan images across hundreds of platforms' image boards, dark web forums, encrypted messaging channels. Each repost triggered algorithmic amplification. More views, more shares, more copies. Next, the lure of novelty. Self-styled sleuths seeking lost archives or hidden clues flocked to links promising unedited footage or uncensored files. Even mainstream social networks could not fully contain the tide. Whispers of gore threads circulated on Reddit and secondary pages, leading curious minds down click after click. By 2010, blogs and YouTube channels capitalized on the infamy. Reaction videos, deep dives, and sensationalist coverage transformed DissectedChan from an image thread into a viral phenomenon. One click spawned 1,000 imitators, always pushing boundaries, seeking ever more shocking content. Yet underneath the spectacle lay a darker truth. With every share, users became vectors. Each screenshot, repost, and comment etched the trauma deeper, forging neural pathways that respond differently to violence than to any other stimuli. Our brains are wired for survival. We've evolved to detect threat-fast heart rates, widened eyes, a rush of adrenaline. When faced with extreme gore, these systems go haywire. First, the amygdala, your brain's alarm bell, fires, flooding your body with stress hormones. Cortisol spikes, blood flows away from the digestive and immune systems, focusing on fight or flight. Second, mirror neurons activate. we subconsciously simulate another's pain. Though safe behind a screen, our mind feels the threat as if real. That hollow stare of DissectedChan triggers empathy and horror at a primal level. But the true danger lies in the long term. Repeated exposure rewires reward circuits. The same dopamine that fuels addiction to video games or social media likes now reinforces the desire for ever more extreme images. A pathological loop forms, pushing users from stylized gore to real atrocity. Clinical studies have shown that high levels of graphic content lead to desensitization, emotional blunting, nightmares, and even PTSD-like symptoms. We become both voyeurs and victims of our own insatiable curiosity. Beyond statistics, there are human stories. Meet Ava, a 22-year-old college student who stumbled on DissectedChan at 2 a.m. One image haunted her dreams for weeks, a close-up of a scalpel slicing tissue. She began to see shadows in her peripheral vision, convinced something lurked. Or Marcus, a former forensic trainee who thought he could handle graphic imagery. But after downloading the entire thread for research, he experienced panic attacks whenever he saw red hues. His mind now permanently alert to traces of blood. And then there's the anonymous blogger known only as Watcher. He spent months compiling the best mirrors of DissectedChan, only to fall into a depression so deep that he quit social media, emerging months later in intensive therapy. These stories underscore a simple truth. Once seen, the images can never be unseen. The brain's neural networks have been remapped, and the echoes of shock persist long after the screen goes dark. So why do we risk it? The quest for the forbidden, the thrill of transgression, the dark mirror we hold to ourselves. We become complicit in our own trauma, but knowledge is power. Understanding how these images affect our minds can help us choose wisely. If you or someone you know is struggling after exposure to extreme content, reach out. Professional help is available. As we close, remember, the internet's darkest corners may lure, but you are not powerless. Limit exposure, cultivate digital hygiene, and seek communities that protect rather than prey on your psyche. If this video resonated, share it. Help others see the unseen consequences of digital horror. Subscribe for more explorations into the full, buried files of human experience. Stay curious, but stay safe.
Buried files, stories the world tried to bury. Subscribe, like, and comment your thoughts.